What's up and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today I have another Shudder Original Film to talk about that I got to see a little bit early, and this one is coming to the streaming platform on September 2nd. It's Superhost. Superhost is ultimately about a couple of travel vloggers that are allowed to stay a few nights in a popular vacation rental in order to review it for their online channel. But the stay is not as luxurious or comfortable as they would have liked to imagine. Instead, the host of the establishment is a wee bit off. They hope to use the strange quality of the host to improve their subscriber numbers, but they have yet to even scratch the surface of the darkness found in the home. About a year or two ago, there was another film that came out called The Rental, which had a somewhat similar concept, which was pretty much a psychological thriller horror film where a bunch of people stay at a vacation rental and they're stalked by something with malintention. This is like that, just with the added element of, one, a vlogger atmosphere, and two, it's not as mysterious as The Rental. You already kind of know who is probably stalking these people, the really weird host, right? You might not understand why at first, but you know enough about what's going on to say that this isn't so much of a mystery as it is a thriller. And as a thriller, it's definitely not bad. There is a good sense of rising tension that slowly builds throughout the film that I absolutely enjoyed. Tension is often better with mysteries because there's always the unknown element, but even though you're pretty sure you know what's going on here, the way that it's shot is actually pretty good. As for the whole vlogger aspect of the film, I also really enjoyed that because our lead characters, played by Osric Chow, who played Kevin in Supernatural, that's how I know him from, and Sarah Canning, who played his partner Claire, they both have individual goals here. He is secretly planning to propose to her during this event. She, on the other hand, is all about views and subscriber numbers and doing whatever it takes to make that number grow, including being as fake as humanly possible, which she often has the belief in this film that that's what people really want to see. Fakeness. They don't want to see authenticity. That's boring. And that's actually a major theme in this film. Authenticity. This film begins and ends with a focus on audience retention almost, and what their fans want to see versus what they bring to the table. I thought that was a very clever aspect that felt relatively fresh. As a YouTuber myself, I also am kind of like them. I'm also looking for the right ways to present myself, and this film serves as kind of a subtle message of be true to yourself, because in response, you'll be true to others. Now, as I kind of bounced around in this review, I sort of mentioned that the film is a bit predictable, and it is. I will say that there are twists and turns in this film where sometimes it is predictable and sometimes it's not. But it's also not really trying to hide what it is. You know from the get-go that because this host is acting crazy, she probably is crazy, if the shoe fits, right? It's more about the journey of following these characters and seeing what they do in this situation that I think is more compelling than trying to predict what'll happen in the movie overall. Because again, it's easy to predict. In general, the idea here is that I did enjoy the movie. I liked the chemistry between our leads here. Their vlogging stuff for me was very relatable as a YouTuber, so I suspect it's the same for other vloggers out there as well. These two have a lot of energy and they have a lot of decent acting range if you think about it, as this is a horror film or psychological thriller where you have a long list of emotions from pretty much every actor here. I can't think of a single actor actually that was monotone in their performance. They all had to show a range. So that was cool. Now, in terms of purely just technical aspects for my unbiased score, the biggest thing here is probably cinematography. A little bit with visuals since they have the vlogger look, but it's mostly cinematography, which I thought was pretty decent. And again, some of the acting was better than it needed to be with some decent chemistry. But it's also not a movie that makes huge leaps and bounds with the technical direction that it took. A lot of what happens in this movie is simply put business as usual for other films like it. So I won't be putting it on a list of films that came out this year that floored me in its direction. This unbiased score is 74%. My biased score, or just how I felt about it overall, I had a good time with it. It was better than I thought it would be, but I also did find it predictable personally. And by the end of the film, I'm left kind of wondering what the point was. Overall, good experience though. My score here is 76%. When we combine the two scores together, we come to the final rating of 75%, 75 out of 100 possible stars, or a B letter grade. Guys, have you seen Superhost? If you have, let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.
Dave examines movies. we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert.